I've somehow became the guy who reviews adult-themed zombie films, so I thought to myself, why not actually talk about one that was made by adult filmmakers? It's Revenge of the Living Dead Girls. Not to be confused with Jean Rollin's Living Dead Girl, which, I mean, I wouldn't blame you because Jean Rollin also did naughty films. This one is directed by Pierre B. Renard and Jean-Claude Roy. I love mocking my own language.
Il faut faire quelque chose.
And at its core, it's about corporate espionage.
Voilà pour votre augmentation, mais je veux la garantie d'être débarrassé de ces déchets définitivement.
But that's not why you're here. You're here for the two B's of horror, breasts and blood. And this movie has plenty of breast and some blood. And it's in the vein of the popular 80s theme, pollution. Yes, this is a social commentary-filled film. It's also filled with boobs, but that's not important.
Salope.
So, what is it about? Well, it's about this corporation that makes chemicals. One is named MZ31. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. Anyways, they want to get rid of those pesky chemical wastes. But how are they gonna do it? Well, you'd think they'd be, you know, ethical and get rid of it by recycling, or I don't know, I'm not a chemical guy, I study history. I can't tell you about the chemical makeup of MZ31, but oh boy can I talk to you about the rise of fascism. And, its contrast with modern society. To get rid of the pesky chemical waste, the company, well, the French side of the company, hires somebody that puts the chemical waste in a milk truck, and the way we get to that scene is by the milk truck driver being distracted by a woman who wants to hitch a ride. And she hurts herself, so the guy is like, let's play doctor. So they have intercourse, and we see everything, and meanwhile, this guy on a motorcycle puts something in the milk. And then we get French women just downing milk. Like, you know, lactose intolerance doesn't exist. The first one is this lady who is about to get married, and she's eating her cereal with her mother in full lingerie, because France, and she just downs a bowl of milk and automatically passes out and dies. This also happens to two other girls in the village who drink the milk and fucking die. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, they're gonna drink the milk and turn into zombies, but no, only 3 of them die and only 3 of them turn into zombies. I guess that big truck of milk was just enough for 3 French women.
OKF n'a jamais pollué.
But eventually, instead of tainting the milk, they just decide to get rid of the chemical waste by dumping it in the cemetery. And that's where we get our ladies who are turned into zombies, and they're on a revenge arc. They want to get revenge on everybody who hurt them. That is the president of the company, the motorcyclist, the milk guy, and other people, I guess. In the meanwhile, the president of the French branch of this company that does chemicals goes to Germany, but his wife cheats on him. At least she tries to, until she gets, you know, a visit from the zombies, and she gets a hill in her eye. And that's where we get this film's gore, which is honestly pretty freaking great. By the way, if you want to see this video uncut, go to my Patreon because there's a lot more titties on there. And then the rest of the film is pretty much us following this corporate drama with scenes in between of zombie gals literally eating penises. Again, this is not a euphemism, they literally eat the penis of a guy and then eat his guts. Again, the gore is great, there's just not enough of it. During that time, the German branch of the corporation, we know that they're in Germany because he has a German flag in his coffee cup, decides to go and investigate what is going on with the company because there's been 3 deaths associated to the company. Then we have the police, who, you know, they're the French police, so they're incompetent, trying to do the same.
Ce produit fait l'objet d'une attention spéciale. La surveillance est très stricte.
Apparemment pas.
In between that, we also have the main chemist and his pregnant wife, but he also cheats on his pregnant wife with pretty much every woman in this film, and the only reason she's pregnant is to get us to see a scene where her goddamn pregnant stomach just melts, which again, is pretty awesome.
Oh.
And remember the gal from the beginning who played doctor with the truck driver? Well, she gets it pretty bad too. In fact, she gets a fucking sword stuck in her pussy. This video is demonetized, but I had to say that. Because I need people to watch this goddamn film.
C'est la pute du pays.
Then we quickly find out that this whole scheme was actually created by the secretary of the main guy from the company, whose name is Alphand, and that's a name of all time. But I mean, that's kind of an old-timey French name. My grandfather was actually named Alcide, which doesn't sound like a name, it sounds like a virus, but you know, that was his name. He also ran a bar, which might explain my tendency to enjoy alcohol in copious amounts.
Hein, gros salaud?
Anyways, the secretary created this whole scheme, and they're not actually zombies. They're just women who wanted to get big money, which is another theme of this film: capitalism.
Tenez!
But the townies, who are French drunks, think that the dead are actually coming back to life, so they want to take revenge on the dead. Which leads to this film's finale, which is an amazing scene of this car flipping over and then angry French drunks throwing Molotov cocktails at the car, as the French do so well whenever they're angry at any little thing they don't like. So yeah, I know this was a quick explanation, but honestly, the parts about the corporate espionage thriller drama are kind of boring, and this movie's only good because of the goddamn absurd and ridiculous amounts of zombies, nudities, and guts. Also, the kills are pretty naughty. So, what did I think of Revenge of the Living Dead Girls? This is actually a pretty fun film. The back of the Blu-ray from Severin Films, not sponsored, you just should buy this movie, describes it as Return of the Living Dead meets Jean Rollin. And I can see the Jean Rollin because it is a very slow burn, atmospheric film, but with a lot of nudity. But I can't really see Return of the Living Dead other than the zombies kind of look like that. It's not really comedic in any sense, it's just a film that doesn't take itself too seriously, which I appreciate. It's fun, it's gory, it's just a quick 80-minute watch, and I would recommend it to any fiend of Euro sleaze from the 70s and 80s. And if ever you want something that's similar but a bit better, I would highly recommend Night of Death, which is also an 80s French exploitation film with a lot of gore that I will probably eventually cover on this channel. But you know, for now, Revenge of the Living Dead Girls is a solid film. Thank you guys, and see you guys next time.